Bon dia, hello, bonjour. My name is Shampiana. I am from Kenya. I am a program coordinator of Youth, Peace and Security. I have a particular focus on climate justice. Climate justice is an abstract concept that is yet to be grasped by many. The Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance therefore brought youth from over 70 countries from across the world to come together to not only dissect the issues of climate justice, but to also have a deeper comprehension and indeed renewed appreciation for the gravity of the new crisis of our era, that is the climate crisis. In the words of the former Secretary General of the UN, Kofi Annan, I will say this, that the world is reaching a tipping point beyond which climate change may become irreversible. If this happens, we risk denying the future generations the right to a healthy and sustainable planet. We do not want that. The last 14 days at the Nairobi Summer School on Climate Justice have been insightful, thought-provoking, and this gives us hope that it is not over yet. This is a continuation of strengthening of youth advocacy efforts across the world to adapt and build resilience on matters of climate justice. Take this journey with us as we give you a snippet of our experience at the Nairobi Summer School on Climate Justice.
I came to hear about Nairobi Summer School through my environmental group back at home called Lumisa. We had 2 participants from our group come to the Nairobi Summer School, and when they came back they had so many insights that I was like, we also need to go too. So when the cohort came up again, we definitely applied and I was lucky enough to be shortlisted.
It was quite fulfilling to find out that most of the learners discovered something new here at the summer school. They had come in with different perspectives on certain subjects, different knowledge levels on certain subjects. But when you hear them speak after the sessions, you have a sense that they have learned something new, and to some extent their minds are being transformed as well.
Seeing here how clear the data is on who is guilty, who is the victim, what we have to do, what we have been doing wrong, has been very eye-opening.
I had a general idea of climate change at first, and since we started with this training, now I have an in-depth knowledge of climate change, and most importantly, climate injustice, which is how climate change is affecting different communities in a different manner.
The training has really been impactful because I have a lot to take home currently, and I think the networking has been also a huge part, and also just an opportunity to interact with the PACG team and have an insight on how they run things has really been a huge part of the lesson for me.
The main activity which stood out for me is when there were presenters who were presenting on the nexus of climate justice and environmental law. Being a law student, I am fascinated by the concept of environmental law, especially the regionalization of environmental law for our African continent, and especially for me as African youth from the small island developing state. So this has been the main session where I've followed the sessions with great passion, with great determination, and I hope to further engage in this field.
Coming to the summer school, we were able to relate to many of our problems to climate change, and we have obtained to comprise full of information about the climate science and how to adopt the mitigate among the others.
The summer school has taught me that I can learn by doing, learn by working with teams, learn by understanding, and the hybrid sessions have been very, very good for me.
It's also interesting to learn more about what is on the ground here in Africa. So it's basically we share the same experiences, and we're willing to share that, like the knowledge on how to advance adaptation and advance the principles of climate justice in all policies.